A young Judy Hopps dreams of becoming the first bunny police officer in Zootopia. Lesson 1. In the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. But Judy's family hopes that she'll just embrace being a carrot farmer in Bunny Burrow. As her parents talk, Judy spots trouble when Gideon Gray bullies smaller prey and steals their tickets. Judy stands up to the fox, and despite being pushed down and scratched, Judy reveals she actually outfoxed him and recovered the tickets. Judy will try everything to stand up for what's right. Lesson 2. Courage is standing up for what's right, even if you know it'll hurt. 15 years later, Judy pursues her dream at police academy training. She initially meets many setbacks when competing with larger predators. But through grit and her sharp wit, she begins to excel, using her size and ingenuity to outperform her classmates. Lesson 3. Resilience. Keep trying and don't give up. She graduates at the top of her class, finally achieving her long-held ambition. Mayor Lionheart acknowledges Judy as a prime example that anyone can be anything. As Officer Judy Hopps prepares to leave Bunny Burrow, her parents try to equip her with anti-fox tools, reinforcing a predator and prey mentality. Judy gives her parents a loving hug goodbye and boards the train, ready to prove herself. Lesson 4. Don't be overpowered by the fears of others. As Judy enters Zootopia, she is excited and full of hope, visualizing the limitless possibilities where anyone can be anything. Judy's excitement crashes to a reality when she sees her apartment. Lesson 5. In the words of John Maxwell, disappointment is the gap that exists between expectation and reality. Undeterred, Officer Judy Hopps heads out for her very first day at Zootopia Police Department. Chief Bogo leads the ZPD meeting and distributes assignments for solving the mystery of several missing animals in Zootopia. Every officer gets an assignment, except for Officer Hopps, who is assigned parking duty. Judy channels her frustration into her work and sets out to make 200 tickets by noon and prove her worth to Chief Bogo. Lesson 6. In the words of George S. Patton, always do more than is required of you. But she notices a suspicious fox, Nick Wilde, heading into Jumbo's ice cream parlor. Judy follows. Nick, with what appears to be his son, tries to buy a giant Jumbo Pop ice cream. The vendor rudely refuses service because he's a fox. Judy, driven by her belief that anyone can be anything in Zootopia, steps in to defend Nick. The foxes smoothly take the Jumbo Pop, thank the naive bunny, and disappear. Lesson 7. Kindness can be exploited. After seeing the two foxes drive off, Officer Hopps feels that something is off and follows the two foxes to the Tundra Town district of Zootopia, where she sees the full operation. Nick Wilde and his small partner Finnick melting the giant popsicle down and repackaging the resultant sweet runoff into dozens of tiny popsicles for the small mammals of Little Rodentia. Lesson 8. Be observant. Judy attempts to assert her authority as a police officer, but Nick Wilde swiftly turns the tables, mocking her idealistic belief that anyone can be anything. Nick, showing the cynical worldview of a predator who has faced prejudice, tells her that she'll never be a real cop, only a cute meter maid. Officer Judy Hopps returns to her tiny, depressing apartment. As she eats a small, solitary meal, she receives a video call from her parents. Lesson 9. Self-reflection helps you assess where you are in life. The next day, while on parking duty, she witnesses a crime in progress. Excited to finally do real police work, Judy abandons her parking duty and begins the chase. Judy pursues the weasel through Little Rodentia. The chase concludes when Judy uses a big donut to apprehend the suspect. Lesson 10. When the right opportunity comes, jump on it. Chief Bogo, however, is furious. He tears into the determined bunny, demanding she stick to her assigned parking duty and threatening to fire her for disobeying orders. They are interrupted by frantic Mrs. Otterton, whose husband is one of the 14 missing mammal cases haunting Zootopia. Judy boldly steps in and promises to find the missing otter. Lesson 11. In the words of Milton Berle, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Chief Bogo is enraged, but Assistant Mayor Bellwether intervenes on Judy's behalf. Chief Bogo gives Judy an impossible ultimatum. Find Mr. Otterton in 48 hours, or resign. While analyzing the evidence, Officer Hopps quickly realizes the cynical fox Nick Wilde was a witness. When he refuses to help her investigate, she reveals Judy's hustle. She subtly manipulates Nick into revealing he has been doing felony tax evasion since he was 12. Judy reveals she secretly recorded the entire conversation with her carrot pen recorder and forces the fox to become her unwilling partner to solve her case. Lesson 12. Use your opponent's game against them. Our dumb bunny learned from the sly fox and made her own hustle. Their first lead takes them to the Mystic Spring Oasis, a naturalist club in Zootopia. While attempting to get information from an elephant who supposedly knew the otter, the laid-back yak turns out to be the one with photographic memory and is able to give Officer Hopps a license plate number. Lesson 13. Stereotypes can be harmful. The one who had the best memory ended up being the most unexpected person. Armed with a vehicle's license plate, Officer Hopps and Nick Wilde head to the DMV to run the number. The DMV is staffed entirely by slow-moving sloths. The naturally fast and impatient bunny is driven nearly to a breaking point by the glacial pace of the operation. Lesson 14. The world doesn't move at your pace. Patience is a virtue. By the time Flash the Sloth finally processes the information and gives it to them, it is nearly dark. They find the limousine with terrifying clues inside, showing how Otterton went savage. Judy and Nick discover the owner of the limo is Mr. Big, and are then captured by polar bears. Mr. Big, as it turns out, is a very small Arctic shrew. Nick is terrified because he knows Mr. Big well. The fox once crossed him with a skunk rug hustle. Judy only makes the situation worse by revealing she is a police officer. Mr. Big orders his polar bear henchmen to ice the pair, but are saved by Mr. Big's daughter, Frou Frou. As it turns out, Judy saved her life from the Big Donut during the earlier weasel chase. Mr. Big repays the kindness and instead of icing them, offers them help in solving the missing animal case. Lesson 15. Small acts of kindness can have big payoffs. They find Manchas the limo driver at his home, where he is clearly terrified, having been attacked by the now savage Emmett Otterton. Manchas recounts what happened to the otter and mentions that somehow night howlers were related. He suddenly goes wild himself, and the Hopps and Wilde dream team is forced to flee the now savage jaguar. They escape the predator by swinging off a platform and jumping into some vines. Chief Bogo and a team of police officers arrive on the scene, but when Judy tries to show them Manchas, the jaguar is nowhere to be found, with only his claw marks behind. Nick Wilde unexpectedly steps up and defends the bunny police officer, reminding the chief that Judy still has a few hours left to solve the case. Judy is stunned as Nick leads them away. As they travel, Nick reveals his painful past. As a child, he tried to join a junior Ranger Scout troop, but the other members bullied him and put a muzzle on him simply because he was a fox. Lesson 16. Past experiences shape who you are today. Nick then gets a brilliant idea. Since the city has cameras everywhere, they can find out who took Manchas. Judy knows exactly who can grant them access to Zootopia's traffic cameras. Assistant Mayor Bellwether. Lesson 17. It's not what you know, it's who you know. They successfully find the right footage and witness the savage Manchas being taken away by Arctic wolves. Then they see the kidnappers diverting off the main road and down a hidden side tunnel that leads towards an old tower. Following the traffic camera footage to the tower, Hopps and Wilde slip past the security detail. The partners find their way into a hidden, high-tech research facility. Inside are all the missing mammals, including Emmett Otterton and Manchas the jaguar. All of them are in a savage state, acting like feral predators. Mayor Lionheart enters the lab and is seen talking to a scientist. Hopps and Wilde capture Lionheart's conversation on tape, proving the conspiracy goes to the highest levels of government. But an alarm goes off at the hidden laboratory, and our dream team escapes through the toilet. Chief Bogo and the ZPD make it out and expose the secret lab with the caged savage missing animals. At the ZPD press conference, reporters ask her about the reason for the savage outbreaks. Judy suggests that the animals going wild is a biological instinct of the predators. She reinforces the old predator-prey stereotypes, and Nick Wilde is devastated. Nick confronts Judy and bitterly walks away. Lesson 18. Being sincere isn't enough. Despite good intentions, Judy still botched the situation and made things worse in Zootopia. A wave of fear and prejudice sweeps across Zootopia. Officer Hopps, devastated by the consequences of her part in what happened, refuses to be the face of a fear-mongering policy. Judy resigns from the Zootopia Police Department and walks out the door, defeated, and returns to Bunnyborough. Lesson 19. Sometimes doing the right thing costs you dearly. Judy is in a miserable state back home, but when her parents talk about the effects of a flower called night howlers, she realizes that this is the key to what happened to the savage animals. Lesson 20. The best solutions often come to you when you are thinking about something else. Judy eagerly heads back to Zootopia to find Nick Wilde and expose the real conspiracy. Judy finds Nick and breaks down, offering a tearful, heartfelt apology for what she did and the pain she caused. She takes full responsibility. Lesson 21. Own up to your mistakes. Hopps and Wilde are back, a partnership restored ready to take on the world. The partners track down Duke Weaselton and bring him to Mr. Big. Under the threat of being iced, he reveals the source of the night howlers. Lesson 22. Use the resources you have and look for solutions. Hopps and Wilde rush to the abandoned train car. Inside, they discover someone putting the concentrated toxin into pellet balls that could be shot to make predators savage. Officer Hopps takes control of the train car with all the evidence and makes for an escape. Lesson 23. Outsmart your opponents. After avoiding a catastrophic train crash, however, the train careens out of control, leaving Hopps and Wilde left without evidence. But Nick was able to save a briefcase of evidence. They run into Assistant Mayor Bellwether, but as Officer Judy Hopps begins to hand over the evidence, her instincts tell her something is wrong. It turns out that Bellwether was the one secretly orchestrating the savage outbreaks, using the night howlers to frame predators and seize political control through fear. Lesson 24. Fear is a powerful weapon of division. Judy and Nick try to flee, but Bellwether's henchmen corner them. Bellwether shoots Nick with a toxin, and he chases the terrified bunny police officer like a savage predator. Bellwether believes she has won, but it was actually a brilliant hustle by Hopps and Wilde. Judy reveals her carrot recorder pen captured the entire conversation and that Nick was actually shot by a harmless blueberry. Lesson 25. In the words of Stonewall Jackson, always mystify, mislead, and surprise the enemy. With the confession in hand, Chief Bogo and the ZPD arrest the corrupt mayor and her cohorts. Zootopia begins to heal, and Officer Judy Hopps is reinstated. Among new recruits at the ZPD is Nick Wilde. The Hopps and Wilde Dream Team is ready for their next adventure.